Hi everyone, and welcome to NARC-Recovery Channel. My name is Angela, and today I wanted to talk to you about a different healing phase of your journey, which not everyone is going to be ready for, but this video is for the people who are ready to move on to another stage of healing, and that is the stage where we begin to really look at ourselves instead of all of our attention being focused on the narcissist and understanding, what the narcissist is and wrapping our head around everything that's happened. But once we get past that part, we move into another phase, and this is the phase of really taking a look at ourselves and seeing where we were responsible for the narcissist coming into our lives. And this is an important part of the healing journey, because while in the beginning stages of discovering about the narcissist and the abuse that we endured, we very much need to be in a state of victim consciousness because we were rightfully victimized by someone who is very cruel and hurtful. But we don't want to stay there. We need to spend some time there. We need to be victims. We need our pain validated. And I'm not saying anything against that, but there comes a time when we need to move out of that state of victim consciousness. And so this video is about overcoming victim consciousness and codependency, because these are the two main things that we are responsible for that brought the narcissist into our lives. And until we understand this and until we fix this wounding within us, we will keep attracting narcissists again and again. I know because I have personally had 3 narcissists in my life, 1 covert and 2 overt narcissists, and I didn't learn the lesson the first 2 times, so there was another one, and if I hadn't learned it, I would have gone through it with another one. And so if I hadn't healed my codependency, my abandonment, and my victim consciousness, I would probably still be in a repeat cycle with narcissists. So if you want to move on to a better stage of your life, if you want to heal from the narcissist and leave that part of your life far behind, then it's really important to focus on this part of your healing, which is learning to pull yourself out of a state of disempowerment or victim consciousness and learning to heal your traumas and your codependencies and all the dysfunction and toxicity within you that made this attraction with the narcissist possible. Because you can't have a narcissist and a healthy person come together with that magnetic attraction. It only happens with dysfunction and dysfunction. It's like a magnet. But if one person's healthy and the other one's not, it's just not going to work. So what you want to do is you want to make yourself the healthy person so that you're no longer a match to the narcissist. And the best way to do that is to overcome victim consciousness. And victim consciousness is a state of disempowerment that we attain through our mental thinking. So whenever we are thinking, life is hard, why is everybody so cruel to me? Why won't anyone love me? Why does everyone leave me and cheat on me? I can't ever get a good job. I get it. I was deeply entrenched in victim consciousness, and that made me a perfect match for the narcissist. But I had to learn to change that way of thinking. And the way I was able to do that was to simply become aware of it, first of all. And whenever I would catch myself going into states of disempowerment or victim consciousness, I would have to correct that thinking into an empowering thought, a thought that I am good enough. People do love me. And we have to kind of make this conscious shift from negative to positive so that we can begin to overcome our own disempowerment. As many abuse survivors will tell you, that the shift happens when we go from being victims of abuse to survivors. When we make that conscious shift in our awareness and we say, you know what, yeah, I was victimized by the narcissist, but I am not a victim to the narcissist. I am a survivor. I dealt with something really difficult, really painful, really terrible, but I'm not going to allow that to keep me in a state of disempowerment forever. And that's ultimately the point that you want and need to get to. And that's going to require a shift in your perception. So when we begin to develop this shift in perception, it requires that we take a look at us and where we were toxic. And that means, where did I have weak boundaries? Where was I codependent? And codependency is simply this feeling of being excessively lonely, of feeling like we don't have enough within us, that we need somebody to love us, we need somebody to take care of us, we need someone to save us. We don't want to be alone with ourselves. We feel like our happiness is outside of us, that I need somebody to love me because I don't know how to love myself. And that's really ultimately what it comes down to. I don't know how. Because for me, I didn't know how. I read books. I tried for a long time to figure out this whole self-love thing, and I just couldn't seem to understand it until after I was discarded by the third narcissist. And I went through this sort of healing journey that led me to what I'm sharing with you right now, which was becoming aware of my own dysfunction and where I didn't love myself, where I didn't have boundaries, where I was people-pleasing, where I was letting people run all over me, where I was keeping myself in this state of victimhood that was keeping me incredibly disempowered and making me the perfect target for a narcissist. Because you have to understand, when a narcissist is searching for a target, they're looking for somebody who is codependent, who's people-pleasing, who's in a state of victim consciousness or disempowerment. Because if you're a healthy person, you're not going to be interested in a narcissist. So they have these radars that can sense who is dysfunctional in this way and who is not. And so when they set their sights on you, it's because they've said, yes, this person is dysfunctional in just the right way that I'll be able to obtain supply from them. And they are very good at scanning a crowd and picking out the most dysfunctional person in that crowd and choosing that crowd to be the target, or that person to be the target. Now, this isn't your fault. I'm not saying anything that to hurt you, and this can be really hard to hear, especially for the first time, I know. But I'm saying this so that you can become aware of it, so that it can ultimately help you. And it's kind of a painful truth about ourselves, and it's difficult to look at. It's always difficult to look at where we were toxic. It's easy to point our fingers at the narcissist and say, the narcissist hurt me, the narcissist cheated on me, the narcissist lied to me. But what you ultimately need to come to realize is that because of my weak boundaries, the narcissist was able to cheat on me. Because I kept letting the narcissist come back, the narcissist kept coming back and abusing me. So, we had the power to shut the abuse down from the very beginning, but we didn't do it. Why? Because we had our own unresolved trauma that we weren't aware of or haven't worked through. But for me, it was simply that I just did not know. I did not know that I had these issues. And so the narcissist really helped me to come to realize these issues. So I've learned, and I'm 4 years out, you guys. I'm 4 years narcissist free. I've been on this journey for a minute, and I have learned that the narcissist was absolutely one of the greatest blessings to ever come into my life. And that's easy for me to say now. I wasn't saying that 4 years ago, trust me. It's taken me a long time to get to this level of actually being grateful for the experience, because it helped me become a stronger person, and it was a huge catalyst to me finding my own self-love, to me healing my own trauma, and for me to become a whole person again, who's not interested in narcissism or narcissists in that way anymore. And when I run across one, they're so blatantly obvious that no way. But I wasn't always like that. I wasn't. So I want to help you guys reach this point, because it was really, really difficult for me to find self-love. And I searched for it, and all I found was narcissists. But what I didn't know was that the narcissist was showing me where I wasn't loving myself. And once I was able to see that and say, oh wow, I was dysfunctional to allow this to happen. And not only that, but I let the covert narcissist come back for 3 years, even though I knew he was cheating and I knew he was lying and I knew what he was doing. I still allowed it to happen. So I had a responsibility in that too. And when I started to take the time and heal my own issues, and I turned the focus away from the narcissist and put it on me and said, What do I need to do to fix me so that I'm no longer a magnet to the narcissist? That's when the changes really started to happen. So if you really, really want to get over this and you want to leave this part of your life in the past, find that sense of self-love, rebuild your confidence, create a life for you that's happy and healthy, with healthy relationships and healthy dynamics, this is part of that process. So you're going to have to take that look in the mirror. You're going to have to see where you have ingrained victim consciousness and work daily. And it's just a practice. It's a daily practice. When you catch your mind going into, I'm a victim in any sense, I'm a victim, the world hates me, that narcissist hurt me, blah, blah, blah. And yes, I know they do a lot of damage, you guys, and I'm not trying to trample on anyone's sensitivities or feelings here. I'm just offering you a different perspective that's going to really help you to find some healing from the narcissist when you're ready. If you're not ready for that right now, it's totally fine. This is a mid-level, later stage of the healing journey, and everyone's at a different spot on this journey. So I'm not discrediting where you are on the journey. I'm just kind of helping to guide you through the part of the journey that's really going to empower you the most, and that's working on you and fixing you. And at the end of the day, that's what the whole experience is about. So when you start going into negative thought cycles and I'm a victim, just become aware of it and correct it. Just correct it. I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. The narcissist didn't ruin me. The narcissist made me stronger. I am beautiful. I am worthy. It wasn't me. This person was acting out their own self-hatred. It had nothing to do with me. What my responsibility was why did I allow that person into my life? And not only that, once I saw they were toxic, why did I keep them there? That's what we really need to be looking at here. So it's a process, you guys. That's all I want to say. And work on that. Work on codependency. Work on abandonment issues, because those, at least for me, those three things were the three main core issues that were keeping me in toxic cycles with partnerships and keeping me away from my own self-love, keeping me in self-loathing, keeping me in victim consciousness. So work through the trauma that you may have from past relationships, work through codependency, work through abandonment issues. There's a lot of great resources online. I want to create more content that, speaks of how we work through codependency. I have another channel that talks about healing abandonment wounds. If you want to take a look at that, I will link it below. I have a spiritual channel called Angelic Arcturian Messages, where I talk about more spiritual topics, but I think it could definitely cross over with this topic because I did do a video specifically on healing abandonment wounding. So check that out if you're interested. If you do these things and you work through this stuff, you will never be a magnet for a narcissist again, because when a narcissist sees someone that's in self-love, that has confidence, that knows who they are, that isn't about to put up with any BS, you're not sending out, I'm codependent, I'm victim, I'm people pleaser vibrations anymore in your aura, they're just going to scan right past you and they're going to pick up on the person, next to you or whatever that hasn't done this work. So do this work and it will definitely help you guys to move past this stage of your life and come from a state of disempowerment into a state of empowerment. And that is ultimately the goal and the lesson that the narcissist is here to teach us. The narcissist is here to make you stronger, wiser, to build you up by literally breaking you down to nothing. And sometimes that's just how God works in our lives, you guys. So embrace the journey. I know this is painful lessons when we're dealing with a narcissist, but it's going to make you such a stronger person as long as you choose not to stay a victim to the narcissist forever. No matter how long you were with the narcissist, if it was 5 months or 50 years, you can change this dynamic and you can heal yourself and you can have a better life without a narcissist in it. So thank you for watching the video. I hope it helps you in some way. And leave a comment if you have any questions, and I will see you guys next time.